Let's be honest, no one talks about how lonely leveling up is. It's like one moment you have a full group of friends. You might even be dating someone, you're social, you're active in your community. And then the next moment, it's silence. I mean, crickets. And one day you just look up and you're literally like, where did everybody go? And in that moment, for the first time, it just hits you. You're in a different place now. And if you're honest with yourself, you're shocked that not even one person from your past made it to this new stage of life with you. Because when you change, not everyone can come with you. And a lot of us may know this, but deep down, we want people to try. We want people to see our growth and be inspired to grow with us. Because if they really love us, why wouldn't they want to grow with us? Why would they let us just slip away? Why would they not try? Why would they be okay with being left behind? And if you click this video, I know you can relate. It feels almost unfair that you have to choose between becoming your highest version and the people that you love, but it's a choice that you'll have to make at some point on this journey. And while I hope that you choose you because that is the best choice for you, I want you to understand that there is a period of loneliness while you're leaving your old life and stepping into your new one. So I want you to know that nothing is wrong with you. You're exactly where you need to be. In this video, I'm going to share with you why leveling up comes with loneliness and how to navigate this season of your life. And if you're new here, hi girl, my name is Marcella Castina, and on this channel, I teach women how to become their highest selves. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe. I want you to think of this period of loneliness as a stage. It's a necessary stepping stone on your way to the next level. So because of that, I don't want you to hyperfixate on what left, on who left, and on what's missing. Because the truth is, it's not even about that. It's about having a fresh start and a clean slate. So if you're ready to finally understand this level up loneliness that you've been experiencing, be sure to watch until the end of the video for the full explanation. Let's dive right into it. What I want you to understand about leveling up is that when you level up, you don't just change your habits, you change your identity. And I know changing your identity is something that I speak a lot about on this channel, but I think I speak about it a lot from the first person's perspective. I speak about changing your identity and how you see yourself. But what I want to touch on today is how changing your identity will affect how others see you. You see, people have an idea of who you are in their head. And that's a great thing because if you're an authentic person and you're a great communicator, then chances are what they think of you resonates with who you actually are. And you would want that because then that person would be able to better understand you and better connect with you. The tension comes in when you begin to act in a way that is not in alignment with what they remember you to be. When you grow, you have to understand that someone's idea of you doesn't grow at the same rate. So essentially, you're always 10 steps ahead. Well, the only way they're ever going to know who you are is by getting to know you all over again. And to be honest, girl, between me and you, that takes work. That takes some effort, and a lot of people will not be comfortable with that. Not because this new you isn't incredible and isn't worth knowing, but because people like predictable. They like being able to access things without having to try too hard. And the more you level up, the more dynamic you become, the more sophisticated you become. And so you can go from being a woman that talks about other people to being a woman that talks about her business plans. You can go from being a woman that criticizes other people to becoming a woman that prays for them. And you got to understand, for the average person, they're like, whoa, like what is happening here? They won't know how to wrap their minds around it. And even worse, they won't know how to communicate that. And so it's either going to lead to some type of conflict or them just completely falling back. And so one day you just realize, like, what happened to my friend? Like, everything was good between us before I started hitting the gym. Everything was good between us before I started reading 2 books a month. But now it's like, I don't get the phone calls anymore. I don't get the invites. It's silent, like it's crickets over here. And then you start to feel lonely. You have to understand that your growth disrupted a dynamic that depended on you staying small. If your friendship depends on you staying small, and you grow, then you can't expect to still have that friendship. So I need you to understand this is less about it being a lonely space for you and more about it being a new frontier. You no longer resonate with those people, which means they can no longer be in your company. But it's a new frontier with new opportunities to resonate with new people. Because here's the thing, if you continue to force yourself to be around these people, you're going to notice how one-sided it becomes. Literally for me, when I started leveling up, every time I wanted to hang out with someone, it was always me reaching out. It was always me asking, oh, what are you doing this weekend? When can we hang out? And it was because I felt the loneliness around me and I didn't want to just accept it. And I knew that if I stopped chasing, if I stopped pursuing, that there would literally be no one left. And that's exactly what happened. I would much rather be lonely and living authentically to this new person that I've become than to force old relationships and connections. Because at some point, it just becomes so unbearable. It's like it becomes so obvious that you no longer fit and you have to make a decision. Because it's not only that I was overextending myself, but when I would hang out with these people, we had nothing in common anymore. The entire interaction drained me. So I really had to just ask myself, like, what was the point of me doing this? Because I was just so used to being busy. I was so used to having a full social calendar. This was the first time that I actually had peace. This was the first time that I actually wasn't overcompromising, that I wasn't pretending to laugh at jokes that weren't funny, that I wasn't trying to act like someone that I wasn't just to fit into the social group. Like I really had true peace. And peace can feel like loneliness when you're used to chaos. You have to get to a point where you'd rather be uncomfortable in this loneliness than to be uncomfortable with people that don't align with you. Because you really have to see that the loneliness is really not that bad, and it's actually protection. It's actually peace. You're so used to being overstimulated that you don't know peace when it finds you. It's actually peace. You just have to learn how to see it for what it really is. I know what you're thinking, like, am I changing too much? Am I doing too much too soon? And the answer to that is no. Why would you change slower than you've changed? Why would you try to slow down your own progress just to give people the opportunity to catch up? If they wanted to catch up, they would. And like, you're not changing for no reason. There's a reason why you set out to become a better person. There's a reason why you decided to make different choices. Because you have a vision for yourself and you want to be a better person and have a better future. Why would you want to drag your feet on that? Remember why you're changing. You're changing because the old version cost you too much. There was too much disrespect that was tolerated. You played too small. You wasted too much time. So we're not about to waste more time waiting for people to catch up. And I hear women all the time like, why don't I fit anymore? Why don't I fit anymore? Well, remember those 5 a.m. workouts that you started doing? And remember the results that you started seeing? Yeah, one of a kind. There are many women that are out here doing that. So you're not going to fit with people that don't take their health and their appearance seriously. Remember when you started going to church and giving all of your problems to God? Yeah, you're not going to fit anymore with the people that want to worry all day. You're not going to fit anymore with the complainers. Like, I will acknowledge how painful the loneliness can be, but I'm not going to act like I don't know why I'm lonely. I know exactly why I'm lonely. And until I find women that have the same values and have the same mindset, I'm going to remain lonely because I've worked hard for this loneliness. You have to understand that compatibility changes when consciousness changes. When you start to expand your mind, you're only going to be able to connect with people that have done the same thing. And that is not to shade people that have chosen not to grow. That is their choice. But I want you to know that if you're a person that has seen any type of growth, or better yet, a person with a growth mindset, you're a unicorn out here. It's not every day that you're going to walk into a person that's just like you. And if you do, thank God for that, because that person was clearly put on your path for a reason. Otherwise, you're going to have to go to places and spaces where you can find like minds, like being a part of a book club or having an exclusive gym membership or going to a convention. You're more likely to find someone that has the same mindset as you. And this is how you can successfully step out of the loneliness that you're feeling. Because the last thing that you would want to do is surround yourself with people that don't think like you, because you'd essentially be back to square one. As you become more conscious, you have to become more selective, and you have to be really intentional about who has access to you, because you have to see that access to you is not a right, it's a privilege. Think about it. You've worked so hard on yourself that most people don't even resonate. Like, let that sink in. So if a person is going to access you, they're going to access all of the work that you've put into yourself. They're going to access the positive mindset that you have. They're going to access your abundance mindset, your ability to speak things into existence. So yes, you need to be very cautious about who you let into your space. I really hope you ladies understand how necessary this phase is. This space that feels like you're in between. Your old life has fell away, but your new life hasn't arrived yet. And so you're just like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? I really want you to consider that this may just be preparation. All of the loneliness that you've been experiencing, all of the people that walked away, all of the things that have changed and that have left may just be preparing you for all that's to come. I really want you to consider that this just might be one of the best phases of your life. Because if you're being honest with me, this might be the most you've ever locked in your entire life. This might be the hardest you've ever worked. This might be the most you've ever learned. This might be the most you've ever poured into yourself. And it's because you have no distractions and you have the consciousness and the self-awareness to know that there's no excuses, and to also know that you're limitless and that you can literally have anything you set your mind to. So maybe God is just giving you a space to do just that, to set your mind to something and to get it in the season. You're not being punished and you're not alone. You're simply in transition. And on the other side of this is the life that you've always dreamt of. It's the aligned friendships. It's the deeper conversations. It's the mutual respect. It's the effortless connection. All of that exists on the other side of this phase. So this is not the time for you to crash out because you're lonely. This is the time to appreciate all of the time that you have for yourself. Because I'm not so sure that you're going to ever have this much time to yourself again. Why? Because whatever you create in this phase of your life is going to change the entire trajectory of your life. You're not going to come out of this phase the same. You're going to make something that puts your name in the history books. You've literally transformed into somebody that can do the thing and do the thing well, whatever that thing is. So I really want you to understand that this time has been a gift for you to really tap into all that God has given you and really know what you're working with. Let me know in the comments if you feel more confident in this phase of your life than you ever had in your entire life. I know I feel that way, and it's because of the constant refinement. Each and every day I'm getting 1% better because I'm just in awe of how much I've been able to grow in this time. And there's so much that I've been able to build, and I see more and more each day that I'm coming out of that phase. And it's because I know that I'm ready to be in front of you all. I'm ready to actually actually serve the way that God intended for me to serve. And so, yeah, that's what that loneliness phase was about. So I want you to know that loneliness is not a loss. Outgrowing people isn't a loss. It's actually proof that the work you're doing is working. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm rooting for you, and I can't wait to see how God moves in your life and how he uses you in the world. I hope this video gave you new eyes and a new understanding of what you're experiencing at this time. And I hope you leave this video feeling all warm inside and knowing how much God is preparing for you. And if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you. Be sure to subscribe. I'd love to have you become a part of the family. As I mentioned, this phase of loneliness is a leveling up phase. So watch this video to continue to do so. Okay, my loves, until next time, take good care of yourselves. Bye.